Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Emily Bloom. We have a cool down on the way, but it's not what you'd think. And a shift in wind is going to be clearing things out. We have meteorologist Matt Gray here with what you can expect as you say goodbye to the weekend and hello to the work week.
Yes, hello work week. And hello October, can you get here please? I know, it is, we're almost 2 weeks in, and it definitely doesn't feel like it as we've been getting up into the 70s pretty consistently each and every day. Still 72 in Spokane. We're just a few minutes away. Sunset at 6:13 tonight. And in Coeur d'Alene, we just dropped down into the 60s overall. It looks like another beautiful evening. But as Emily mentioned about clearing things out, yeah, we certainly could use a little bit of that. Air quality has been not the best, not the worst for most of us, but not the best. Largely sitting in the moderate range throughout the weekend. Still in the orange, unhealthy for sensitive groups in Bonners Ferry. And around Wenatchee and Leavenworth, we still continue to see unhealthy to as high as hazardous air quality at times. Some good news here is that we got a system coming in through British Columbia. As it passes through our area, it is going to help clear out some of that smoke. Now, if it could bring us a little bit of wet weather, that would be nice as well, but my optimism on that is extremely low. We'll cover everything you need to know about your Monday and beyond, especially with that system and what you should expect. In the meantime, you get to enjoy some very nice conditions as we wrap up this hazy weekend.
Thanks, Matt. Well, the city of Spokane wants to cater to you and your dog by building 3 new dog parks across the city. Those dog parks are planned to be done by next spring in 3 areas, that is north, south, and east of Spokane. City officials say over 2/3 of the public they surveyed say the city is lacking dog parks throughout the city. They're asking the public to help design future dog parks in their neighborhoods.
We looked at every city-owned piece of property within the city limits, including not parks property, so other agencies and other departments within the city. And then we took that information and put that criteria to a ranking system.
City officials say they don't have a dedicated budget for 2 dog parks yet in North and East Spokane. The park in South Spokane will be the first with funding from Spokane Public Schools. The city is holding a series of 3 meetings to talk about the proposed locations. With the drafted guidelines, city's park board members will decide final locations for the dog parks. And tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day. That means you won't have to pay for street parking in downtown Spokane. But you do want to still put your garbage and your recycling out. Those are set to stay on schedule. There will be an Indigenous Peoples March tomorrow afternoon. It begins and ends in Mission Park. It will feature Native speakers, drummers, singers, and dancers, and it runs from 3 to 5 p.m. And breaking news from a crash out of Lewis County, Idaho this morning. Around 7, Idaho police responded to a head-on crash between 2 cars. A Chevrolet was driving east when the driver crossed the center line into oncoming traffic. The car crashed into another car. The car had a driver, passenger, and 2 children riding along. No one in the Chevrolet was wearing a seatbelt, and they were all taken to the hospital. For updates on that crash, you'll find this story on KXLY.com. And the search for a missing 20-month-old boy in Savannah, Georgia continues tonight. The child's mother, 22-year-old Leilani Simon, told police she last saw little Quentin in his playpen around 6 a.m. Wednesday, he was reported missing just 3 hours later. Since then, police have searched the house, the backyard, and a pool nearby and a pond, but found no sign of Quentin.
I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because we don't know what happened to Quentin. And think how many people love him. You know, think how many people are affected by that. Not only his close family, the neighbors, you know, staff, anyone and everyone that cares about people, that cares about little children.
The FBI is also helping in the search. According to court documents, Leilani Simon's mom does have custody of Quentin. Police haven't said if they suspect foul play yet. And Hurricane Ian's death toll in Florida and South Carolina is now more than 120, and that number could climb. This is video of dive teams for the Lee County Sheriff's Department in Florida. They are looking for submerged vehicles and then checking them for bodies. Lee County suffered the largest number of deaths. It was also a county that delayed ordering people to evacuate for more than a day, despite warnings that the storm would be life-threatening floods. And if you are a part of any Meta sites, including Facebook and Instagram, you may want to know about a security breach involving your personal information. And craziness in the kennel rounded up Gonzaga parents, students, and community members to cheer on the Zags as they showcased their talents. Plus, a special ceremony to honor a player coming up next. And fall is the most colorful time of the year. You'll get a chance to take a look at the beautiful foliage at Green Bluff coming up.
And a small change in our weather, although I wish we could have some much needed rain around here. It doesn't look like that's in the cards, but some improvement in air quality and, well, some more October-like temperatures, at least for a couple of days. That's all coming up in your First Alert forecast.
Attention hikers, bikers, and horseback riders. Public access is prohibited on Antoine Peaks Tower Road from Robbins Road to the summit, October 10th through the 14th for erosion control work. Use caution and watch for heavy equipment. Thanks for your cooperation. 4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Granite Concepts of Lewiston.
Don't turn to that crutch in life that you think is going to get you by, but it's ultimately going to take over your life. I mean, you go from being a productive member of society to not having changed your clothes in a month, not knowing the last time you bathed, and feeling worthless. You have worth. There is hope.
My husband has diabetes.
Even with health insurance, we're having a hard time affording our medications.
Thankfully, we have Patty Murray fighting for us in the U.S. Senate. She kept at it till Congress finally lowered the cost of prescription drugs.
And capped insulin for seniors at $35 a month.
Now we'll save thousands every year. We know when Patty is back in the other Washington.
She is working for us.
I'm Patty Murray, and I approve this message.
Inland Imaging and Community Cancer Fund are teaming up to beat cancer. Low-dose screening CT exams may reduce lung cancer deaths by more than 20% by finding early-stage cancers other methods miss. If you're over 50, a longtime smoker, or have other risk factors, lung cancer screening can provide potentially life-saving answers. Ask your doctor or call 363-7799. Inland Imaging. Answers you can trust and care you can count on.
First psoriasis, then psoriatic arthritis.
Even walking was tough.
I had to do something. I started Cosentyx.
Cosentyx can help you move, look, and feel better by treating the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Watch me.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
4 News Now is brought to you by Silverwood Theme Park.
For most people living in Spokane County, when they think of apple or pumpkin picking, the first thing that comes to mind is Green Bluff. In this week's Air for Adventure, we are giving you a bird's eye view as farmers get ready for the Fall Harvest Festival. Let's go for a ride over Green Bluff.
Welcome to Green Bluff. It's the culmination of the whole season of growing all the fruits and veggies and preparing for the fall festival, apple festival, harvest fest. Just a giant celebration up here for the whole family. The whole area up here used to be what we'd call a commercial farm. kind of a traditional orchard where everything was sent to the packing house. And then in 76, around that time, the packing house closed. You know, these farms had been up here for hundreds of years that had nowhere to bring their produce. And it was a kind of a new revolutionary idea, agro-tourism, to do direct marketing, to sell your fruit directly to the customer. And some of the farms up here created some of the first agro-tourism in the country. The corn maze here at Walters, this is going to be our 4th year doing it. This year, it's in a new spot. So it's back by the apricots, if you know Walters Fruit Ranch, up on a hillside. It's probably the best maze we've ever done. It's super dense. A lot of people haven't been able to find their way out of it. If you're getting lost, this is a place to come. I've got a lot of customers coming this year saying it was pretty hard, they couldn't find their way out. If you get to the end, there's a sign that says, "Congratulations, you mazed it." That's how you know you made it. Corn maze here at Walters Fruit Ranch, it's free of charge. Anybody that comes up, you get to go in the corn maze, there's no charge. It's just my thank you to all you guys out there. We've just been blessed with the weather is unreal. Right now too, this weekend's gonna be great. It's warm, but it's not too warm. We're starting to feel a little bit of a kiss of fall coming.
And all of that beautiful fall foliage is showing up all around the inland Northwest, slowly but surely, as we head into mid-October. Matt, what can we look forward to in the weather this week?
Well, going to see some more fairly warm weather, but hey, no one's complaining about all the sunshine we'd be getting as well, right? And this week's forecast, you are going to feel a little bit more, as the corn guy said, with a kiss of fall. All right, so here we go. We have some cooler air on the way. That's because of this system up in BC. Wish it would bring us a little bit of rain. We could use that, but for now, we will just settle for some windy weather and some cooler air. So kind of watch how this progresses here. This storm starts to dip down as we head into Monday afternoon. The wet weather, however, stays up to the north in Canada. Maybe we get a sprinkle or two in the Cascades, but not much to make a difference with any of the wildfires that are still smoldering there. You can see strong jet stream behind that, so that'll keep things a little blustery Monday night and into Tuesday morning as well. The wet weather moves on and the storm moves on. By the time we're waking up on Tuesday to some beautiful, nice, clean air around the region, and high pressure comes in, and that is the rest of the week is going to be that dome of warm air again. All right, quick animation here that you just saw, basically showing you that by midnight on Tuesday, after probably a little bit more activity tomorrow afternoon from those Cascade fires, and so perhaps even some lower air quality just to the east of the Cascades. By the time we get into early Tuesday morning, all that smoke is going to get blown away. So that is a huge positive. We'll have some really nice looking air quality. We'll be able to see the mountains again on Tuesday. As for tonight, pretty typical of what we've seen lately. We just barely get down into the 40s. Hazy skies, light winds out of the southwest that are really going to crank up as we get into tomorrow. So a hazy start. We'll see that begin to fade away as the winds start to kick up in the afternoon. Temperatures getting up into the mid-70s, upper 60s at lunch. So you ditch the jacket pretty quickly. 75 in general around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene areas. Hazy, then windy. Gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles an hour. And then here's that cooler air. It's not much. Our average high, it's still all the way down here, right about 60 degrees. Our highs will be, average highs about 59 by the time we get to Thursday. But hey, it's better than where we were up around 79, 78, 80 degrees. So slowly but surely, we're seeing that gradual cool off. There's when you're going to feel those windy conditions, largely after lunchtime. Shouldn't be too big of an impact on your day-to-day activities. Now, you see, we kind of warm up here, and as long as this high pressure sticks around, which I think it will, it means likely we'll be watching for some haze to get back into our skies by next weekend. Still some room for that pattern to change, so hopefully we get a little bit of wind by then.
Thanks, Matt. Well, Facebook's owner, Meta, is warning that as many as 1 million users may have had their login information stolen. Meta's researchers have discovered that more than 400 malicious Android and Apple apps designed to steal personal Facebook logins. A Meta spokesperson says the company is reaching out to the users who may be at risk. The malicious apps are disguised as games, photo editors, health and lifestyle services. Often, app users are asked to log in with Facebook, which enables hackers to steal logins and passwords. A Google spokesperson says the apps that have been identified as part of the scam are being removed from Google Play. And the NFL and its players union agreed to modify the league's concussion protocol. It follows a joint investigation into the league's procedures after Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffered an injury last month. ABC's Phil Lipoff has more.
Slams him to the ground.
The NFL and its players union agreeing to modify the rules on concussions following an investigation after Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa appeared to sustain a head injury during a game against the Buffalo Bills. Tagovailoa seen staggering after a hard hit, but later returned to the game. Just 4 days later, against the Cincinnati Bengals, Tagovailoa slammed his head into the turf, his fingers seizing in a response known as fencing, a sign of neurological trauma. The quarterback placed in concussion protocol and rushed to the hospital. Prior to the announcement, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniels saying he supports player safety.
I'm not going to ever pretend to be a foremost expert on it. I think that as long as the protocols are derived with the proper spirit, if it helps players and keeps them safe, the Miami Dolphins will be all for it.
Ahead of Sunday's Green Bay Packers-Giants game, quarterback Aaron Rodgers said players need to bear responsibility for their own safety.
Players want to be out there, but we need to think about our long-term health, and I think we all know the difference between getting rocked and getting concussed. There's definitely a difference.
As a result of the investigation, the league and union agreed to change the concussion protocol to include the term ataxia to the no-go symptoms, which they define as abnormality of balance, stability, motor coordination, or dysfunctional speech caused by a neurological issue. Under the amended protocol, Tagovailoa would have been diagnosed with a concussion on September 25th against the Bills, making him ineligible to return to the game. And league officials say it would have been extremely unlikely for him to play the following Thursday. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
And it's not every day a local athlete gets to be honored by the city, but that's exactly what happened with one of Gonzaga men's basketball stars. Just before the annual Craziness in the Kennel, senior guard Brazier Bolton was recognized by Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward for the work he's done in the local community. Bolton has worked with Spokane's Quarantine, helping to serve the homeless community in Spokane, working with Rick Clark on multiple projects helping those in need.
Sure, I had no idea they were going to do it, but I mean, it was definitely a great honor. You know, I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to, continue to do more work, but it was definitely a great surprise.
Certainly it's not what Raw asked for, but I mean, the stuff he's doing in the community is really, really impressive, and especially, I mean, he's really only been here a short time, but he's having a big impact, which is really cool.
And coming up, the Seattle Seahawks were looking to grab their third win on the season and stay in the thick of the playoff race, but they quickly found themselves in yet another shootout, only this time with New Orleans Saints. Alex Crescenti has the highlights and post-game reaction coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Big dreams for your business don't necessarily require a big bank, just a better bank. Mountain West Bank helps you establish a credit line, grow your business, and more, all with local decisions, making us a better financial partner. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Dear night owls, when darkness falls, our stunning style takes flight as we soar over city streets. And our fuel economy is ever so wise. This ride's a hoot. Trust us, Toyota sedans.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
It's time for 4 News Now, Coats for Kids. Just drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate to Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Global Credit Union is very active in our community, and Coats for Kids is one of the causes that we love. And it's not only coats, we also accept cash. So bring your donations to any Global Credit Union branch location, and we'll purchase brand new coats for our community. At Global Credit Union, we love being a part of Coats for Kids.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. But one day, this farmer will use augmented reality to help ensure the best yield. Urban planners will model traffic solutions to help decrease commute times. Exploring a spacecraft in a museum is one thing. But one day, the metaverse will help students learn about the rings of Saturn. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
It could finally be that home remodel. It could be that pool you've always wanted. It could be an investment in your future graduate. With local lenders and local decisions, we've got loans for whatever your future holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
After last week's performance against the Lions, I think it's safe to ask the question, are the Seattle Seahawks actually good? Really, seriously, when you think about it, there's only 7 playoff spots, and the NFC doesn't look too strong this year, so who's to say they couldn't sneak in that last spot at season's end? And on Sunday, they went up against the New Orleans Saints, another team that's going to be fighting for a wild card spot this year. And midway through the first quarter, I should say, Seahawks driving at the 50-yard line. Geno Smith is going to be flushed from the pocket and find DK Metcalf downfield. He makes a defender miss and breaks a tackle. He dives into the end zone for the game's first touchdown as the Seahawks take the lead. Far from a clean game, though. In the second quarter, Seattle punting at their own 20-yard line, and Michael Dixon looks like he's going to do a little rugby-style kick, runs out of room and tries to take off. He's quickly taken down. Ball comes out, but it's the Saints' ball anyway. So that's going to set them up beautifully. And the human Swiss Army knife himself, Taysom Hill, with a design QB draw, gets the blocking he needs to get in for the score, and New Orleans back on top. But with seconds remaining in the half, Geno going to make some magic happen once again. Airs it out deep to Tyler Lockett. He hits him in stride to the back of the end zone, and the Seahawks take the lead going into the break. Just the start of another shootout for them. Rashad Penny would fracture his tibia earlier in this game, so the carries are now going to go to Kenneth Walker III. He makes the most of it on this long touchdown run, and what a moment for the 21-year-old rookie out of Michigan State. The Seattle defense, though, not doing the offense any favors. They forced the Saints into a 3rd and 1, but Hill, once again, utilizing his legs, and he just wins this foot race, crosses the plane just in time there. 3 touchdowns on the day for him. So Geno and company need a touchdown to tie this game back up, but he can't find anyone downfield, and the slew of Saints are going to be there to meet him for the sack. They'd have to punt the ball away, and New Orleans drains the clock from there, and that would just about do it. So another week of offense of Seattle going off, but the glaring issue on that side of the ball, this one, they were 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. And in a game where the scoring is that high, you just need to do better in that category.
We didn't convert. It's really the difference. We didn't convert. I got to watch the film and see exactly where, the issues were. But mainly we just didn't convert them.
You know what I'm saying? But defense, anytime you give up, 39 points, whatever the case may be, it's hard to win in this league giving up that many points. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's just one of those games, like, offense still put up the points. Defense got to answer. We got to just be better. Special teams can't be mishandling the ball and stuff like that. So when you have issues like that, it's just too hard to win.
Seahawks will now return home for a matchup with NFC West rival Arizona, who may have an even more erratic offense than Seattle somehow. Given the last 2 decades, I'd say it's safe for Seattle Mariner fans that they're still celebrating at this point over last night's win to advance to the ALDS. But it was one of the more remarkable ones that you're ever going to see. With the team down 8-1 in the 6th inning, it was all but certain that we were headed to Game 3 today. However, there is no quit in this team, and they capped it off with a comeback. They capped the comeback off with an RBI double by Adam Frazier in the top of the 9th to give Seattle the lead. And then George Kirby came in to close for the very first time ever in his career to get the job done, and they are moving on.
Yeah, it's been tough, but it's also been one of the most fun years I've had. So just trying to help the team win any way I can, and to come through right there feels pretty good, especially to be down whatever we were down, and to have a chance there at the end was that meant a lot.
So Game 1 of the American League Division Series is set for Tuesday evening from Houston. The Astros winning 12 of the 19 matchups in the regular season against the M's. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
You'll love saving your green at Jennifer's.
Tiffany Smiley celebrated the overturning of Roe versus Wade. There's no way I can trust her to protect us.
Tiffany Smiley would tip control of the Senate to Mitch McConnell.
That is a disaster.
She could give Mitch McConnell the power to rig the courts with more anti-choice judges.
And pass a complete nationwide abortion ban. This is serious stuff.
And Tiffany Smiley still supports Donald Trump.
No way. No way.
No way we can trust Tiffany Smiley.
Women voters responsible for the content of this advertising.
The 2022 Mazda CX-9. Now with standard iActive all-wheel drive. It's nimble, it's intuitive. It's a 3-row CUV that doesn't drive like one.
The 7-passenger Mazda CX-9 was built for the Pacific Northwest. Come take a test drive and reserve yours today at Foothills Mazda. Or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
So, you like winning? Maybe it's time you paid a visit to the Kootenai River Casino in Bonners Ferry. Talk about winning. How about great gaming and off-season room rates? How about $109 a night for Kootenai Falls Lodge rooms and $129 a night for Riverview rooms? And what if those midweek rooms come with free breakfast for 2? Throw in some great new gaming machines and you've got a winner of a getaway. To book your winning getaway, call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com. I'm sorry, sir.
You forgot this.
Wait, you...
Customer service.
Your employees work hard for you. Give them a health plan that works harder for them. From Primera Blue Cross, with more options to fit your business needs and budget. Because your employees depend on it. Find your plan at business.primera.com.
Joe Biden's open borders have threatened our neighborhoods and our children's safety. Fentanyl-related deaths have increased right here in Idaho. Gang members transport fentanyl and other dangerous drugs into our schools and communities. This has got to stop. I'm Mike Crapo. I approve this message. It's time we control the borders and shut down the pipeline of drugs and violence into Idaho.
Our warm, spicy October continues. Only one day with our highs in the 60s. We haven't had to even think about preparing our plants or anything else for chilly fall weather. Looks like that, for the most part, is going to be the case in the week ahead. We'll see what happens after next weekend.
Thanks, Matt. Well, it is time to commemorate the classic American combo. It's International Beer and Pizza Day today. On Football Sunday, how fitting. Well, this food and beverage are made for each other, whether you prefer a pepperoni pizza and a pale ale or everything with a stout. The combinations are endless. Some restaurants are offering specials on pizza and beer. Small town breweries, beer companies, and pizza chains also join in on the festivities. So go ahead and enjoy a cold one with a slice of your favorite piece of pizza, guilt-free. You can keep up to date with all of the news on KXLY.com, and we'll see you back here tonight at 11.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.